Hello, welcome. This episode is entitled The Return to Voice. Now, welcome to the Empress Addi podcast, where the sacred meets the unfiltered, and where our voices are not just heard, but honored. I'm Addi, I'm your host, your sister in soul, your mirror for all things real, raw, and reclaiming. In today's episode, The Return to Voice, I said that already. I chose that because there comes a time after the silence, after the storm, when we come back to our truth, we come back to ourselves, and we speak it. And when our voices speak, when we speak our truth, the world, the earth shakes. So there was a time when I didn't know what my voice sounded like. I actually lost my voice. Not the sound, but the substance. It had been muted by fear, by survival, by years, just a little over 2 years, of walking on eggshells. And it's that time where I didn't feel like my home was my home anymore. My home. And every time I say that, I think of my sanctuary, my safe space. But it never felt that way. Now, for those of you who know, verbal abuse cuts deep. It's not just the yelling, it's the threats, it's the manipulation, it's the constant erosion of your worth, of your self-worth. It's being told you're nothing, or no one would believe you, or that you can't live without this person. It's the gaslighting, even when you logically speak through things. I remember being in that relationship where I wasn't even allowed to leave my house without him. I was monitored, I was isolated from my friends and family, and kept in a constant state of anxiety. And if you're a woman, you know what cortisol does to our bodies. That's a whole other podcast. There were threats, intimidation, violent words, threat on my life. All those things were done just to control me, to shrink me. And over time, my sisters, it began to happen. And I began to question my own reality. Every time I tried to speak up, it felt like a risk. It was like saying the wrong thing would shatter the fragile peace that I so desperately clung to. I did not want to unleash his rage. And over time, I internalized that silence. My opinions, my art, my artistic expression, my questions, all the ways that I love to express myself or debate for that matter, they felt too dangerous to bring to life. But then there was an awakening. I had an awakening. There was a voice always in my heart, always in my head, saying, whispering, telling me, do not forget who you are. Never forget who you are. Remember whose daughter you are. Remember whose sister you are. Remember whose mother you are. And I do not stand alone. Sometimes it's whispers, sometimes it screams. I remember the moment. I was staring at the mirror. My eyes are tired. I looked 10 to 20 years older. I'm telling you guys. I've had another resurgence of glow up since my freedom. But I just looked ragged. My eyes were tired. My spirit seemed dejected. And I said aloud, this is not my story. This is not my life, not the whole of it. And this is definitely not the end of it. I knew right there that if I did not leave this situation, I would surely die. And if not by his hands, I would die from the sheer stress alone. My blood pressure was up. I just felt sick and I felt like I was dying every single day. So that sentence, those words, they didn't come from pain. They came from a place of power, from deep within, from a woman I had buried, a woman who remembered who she was. And that was my return, not to the woman I was before him, but to the truth teller, the one who had experienced this, the woman who had grown, who had matured, the woman I was born to be. Now, what does voice means to me now? Today, voice is everything to me. It's not about being loud. It's not about being honest. It is about being honest, but it's not about being right all the time. It's about being whole. What I was seeking was to be whole again. My voice tells my truth. It tells my story, and it speaks life to others. And that's why this podcast exists. Because someone listening right now is at that edge of silence. Someone is trying to remember who she is or who she was or who he is and who he was before the gaslighting, before the manipulation. Someone is asking themselves right now, am I crazy or was that abuse? Someone is ready to speak out. Someone is ready to leave this situation, but scared of the echo. Yeah? So to you, I say, your voice is your divine inheritance. And when you return to it, no one can take it away again. So here's an invitation to reflect. If any part of this resonated with you, take a moment this week to journal this question. What truth have I been swallowing to make others comfortable? Write it, speak it, sing it, rap it, whisper it. I don't care. Get it out. Just don't keep it inside. And if you're a survivor like me, know this: your silence protected you, but your voice will heal you. I'm going to say that again. Your silence protected you, but your voice will heal you. So, thank you for sharing this space with me today. If this episode moved you, resonated with you in any way, please follow the Empress Addi podcast, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and leave a review wherever you listen. Also, I'd like you to, if you're ready to walk deeper into your own liberation, please connect with me on www.addicassius.com. I'll be publishing not a compendium, this is not law or Bible, but I will be publishing some additional words from this podcast, and I'll continue to do that for each podcast. You can visit my blog space where there'll be resources available, love notes, and ways to connect with me directly. Until next time, speak boldly, love fully, and walk in your truth. I love you. Empress Addi out.